Have you ever taken a moment to really consider that the cherished habit you've followed your entire life, that daily bath or shower you swear by to feel clean, fresh, and healthy, might not be serving you the way you think once you've crossed into your 70s? What if the very thing you've counted on to wash away the stress of the day, the steamy shower, the long soak in a tub, is silently working against you, stripping your skin, sapping your energy, or worse, quietly increasing your risk of a devastating fall? It's a bold idea, even unsettling at first. After all, for generations we've been conditioned to believe that more bathing equals better hygiene. But here's the truth. Once we hit our 70s, the rules change. And if you're still applying the same approach to hygiene as you did in your 40s or 50s, you could be doing more harm than good. That's why, in this video, we're peeling back the layers, literally and figuratively, on how often seniors should bathe. And trust me, what we're about to uncover is likely not what you've been told all your life. We're talking about skin that's thinner, bodies more vulnerable, and a major shift in what it actually means to stay clean past 70. Stick with us until the very end, because we'll dive into 7 surprising, even jaw-dropping insights that may completely transform how you or your loved ones think about personal care in the golden years. Plus, you'll learn one expert-approved trick, simple yet powerful, that helps seniors stay fresh, clean, and comfortable without stepping foot into a potentially dangerous bathroom. It might just revolutionize your routine. And here's the kicker. It's far easier than you might think. Miss it, and you might just miss out on a safer, more comfortable way of life. Before we dive in, if this topic resonates with you, consider giving this video a like to help us continue spreading these valuable insights. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Click that bell icon too so you don't miss out on more content just like this. If this video hits home, comment the number 1 below. If it doesn't, leave a 0. I'm always open to feedback so I can make the next one better for you. All right, let's jump into it. 1. Daily baths can harm. Senior skin aging isn't just about graying hair or deeper laugh lines. It's a biological transformation that reshapes how our bodies function, right down to the skin we live in. By the time we reach 70, our skin undergoes a deep, complex metamorphosis. It becomes thinner, drier, more fragile, dramatically different from the supple resilience of youth. Decades of studies, including landmark research from the University of Pittsburgh and the University of California, San Francisco, confirm these physiological changes. The epidermis, the skin's outermost barrier, thins out, while the underlying dermis weakens as the production of collagen and elastin sharply declines. Meanwhile, the sebaceous glands, those responsible for secreting the natural oils that keep our skin hydrated and soft, scale back their operations. Sweat glands also slow down, reducing our ability to maintain moisture and regulate body temperature. What does this mean in practice? For seniors, that cherished daily ritual of bathing, especially with hot water and soap, can rapidly become counterproductive, even harmful. Every bath or shower strips away the already depleted natural oils, exposing the skin to air, irritants, and infections. This isn't just about feeling a bit dry. It's a cascading chain reaction. The immediate effect is dryness, that tight, uncomfortable sensation that often leads to itching. When left unchecked, this can progress into chronic irritation, leading to a condition known as xerosis, from the Greek word for dry. Xerosis isn't just uncomfortable. It turns the skin into a rough, scaly surface prone to cracks, sometimes deep and painful enough to bleed. These fissures are far from superficial. They create open invitations for bacteria, infections, and can exacerbate existing conditions like eczema or dermatitis. And let's not forget the quality of life impact. Itchy, flaky, painful skin doesn't just stay in the bathroom. It follows seniors throughout the day, catching on clothing, disrupting sleep, and causing discomfort with every movement. For those already coping with arthritis or reduced mobility, the effort involved in bathing may already be considerable. add in the damage it causes, and it's an exhausting, painful process. Research further reveals that hot water speeds up this damage by dissolving lipids, those fatty acids vital to the skin's protective barrier, while alkaline soaps upset its natural pH, which in healthy states hovers between 4.5 and 5.5. Here's what makes this critical. Compromised skin doesn't just feel bad, it becomes a health risk. It loses its ability to shield against bacteria, fungi, and allergens. What might begin as a well-intentioned effort to stay clean can eventually erode the body's ability to protect itself. That's why rethinking how and how often we bathe becomes more than a suggestion for seniors. It becomes a necessity. 2. Less bathing lowers infection risk. We live in a culture where frequent washing is equated with purity, health, and self-respect. But for seniors, that message may need a rewrite. In fact, bathing less often can actually improve your defense against infections. It's counterintuitive, but it's real, and backed by research published in respected sources like the New England Journal of Medicine. What these studies reveal is compelling. Older adults who bathed less frequently reported fewer skin tears, those deceptively small splits that can carry severe consequences. Unlike the youthful skin that springs back after a scrape, aging skin is like parchment, thin, fragile, and sluggish to heal. Lower blood flow, reduced cell turnover, and a weakened immune response all contribute to slow recovery times. This matters more than you might think. A tiny tear can quickly escalate into a gateway for bacterial invasions. Think Staphylococcus aureus or Streptococcus, potentially leading to cellulitis, abscesses, or in extreme cases, systemic infections like sepsis. The common thread? These tears are often the result of compromised skin integrity from overbathing. The combination of hot water and harsh soap depletes the lipid barrier, loosening the structure that holds skin cells together and sealing in moisture. On top of that, frequent scrubbing, whether with loofahs or vigorous hand washing, adds a mechanical stress that weakens skin tissue even more. So what's the alternative? Seniors who limit full-body baths to 2 or 3 times a week and opt for gentle spot cleaning in between report better skin resilience and fewer injuries. Using a warm, damp cloth to freshen up areas prone to sweat and odor, like underarms or the groin, can maintain hygiene without overexposure. It's a strategic approach that not only preserves skin, but also avoids the pain, inconvenience, and potential danger of recurring doctor visits or hospital stays. It's a small change with enormous benefits. Fewer skin tears, less discomfort, reduced risk of secondary infections. For seniors, especially those with mobility issues, this isn't just about comfort. It's a proactive step toward better, safer living. 3. Falls are a bigger threat than dirt. Here's a wake-up call that's hard to ignore. For seniors, the bathroom may be the most dangerous room in the house, and daily bathing dramatically increases the risk of a catastrophic fall. The American Geriatric Society has raised alarms about this issue for good reason. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury and even death among older adults. According to data from the CDC, more than 1 in 4 Americans over 65 experiences a fall every year. These incidents account for millions of emergency room visits and are a primary cause of fractures and head injuries in older populations. The risks climb even higher after 70. Aging brings a host of physical challenges: reduced muscle strength, slower reflexes, impaired balance from conditions like arthritis or neuropathy. Combine those vulnerabilities with a wet, slippery bathroom, and you've got a recipe for disaster. Think about it. Glossy tiles slick with soapy water, a high-sided tub requiring a careful step in, and a foggy mirror masking visibility. Each step taken while bathing becomes a potential misstep. But it's not just the layout of the bathroom that's to blame. Daily showers add to the exposure. Each trip into that high-risk zone increases the chances of an accident. And when you add in common fatigue, many seniors bathe in the morning while still groggy or in the evening when energy dips. the odds of a stumble grow. A single fall can result in a broken hip, a traumatic brain injury, or worse, a long-term decline in independence that may lead to permanent changes in living arrangements. Cutting back on full baths, even to just once or twice per week, can drastically reduce this exposure. Supplement with sponge baths or washcloth routines at the sink to maintain personal hygiene while avoiding the high-risk environment altogether. The math is simple. Fewer entries into the bathroom mean fewer chances to slip. Safety doesn't mean giving up hygiene. It means adapting how we approach it. Studies show that fall prevention strategies focused on minimizing unnecessary risks lead to significantly lower injury rates. For seniors, this can be the difference between staying in their own homes or transitioning to assisted living. Add in practical supports, grab bars, non-slip mats, or shower chairs, and you're not just reducing risk, you're redefining what safe, smart hygiene looks like. 4. Your body cleans itself. Yes, really. Now here's something truly fascinating. Your body is equipped with an inbuilt natural cleaning system that's been evolving for millions of years, and it doesn't need to be scrubbed within an inch of its life every day. That's right. Your skin isn't just a passive shell. It's a vibrant ecosystem, complete with beneficial bacteria, natural oils, and a delicate balance of pH and moisture that work together to keep you clean and protected. At the core of this system is the skin microbiome, a dynamic community of bacteria, fungi, and microscopic organisms that perform vital functions. Far from being harmful germs, these microbial allies are crucial to your health. Some feast on dead skin cells and excess oils, breaking them down into harmless byproducts. Others produce antimicrobial substances that fend off more dangerous invaders. Meanwhile, sebum, the oil secreted by your skin, acts like a natural shield, keeping moisture in and dirt out. Then there's the body's ability to naturally shed dead skin cells in a process called desquamation. This constant turnover carries away surface debris and contributes to that feeling of freshness you associate with a good scrub. Except, here's the thing, it happens all on its own. But when you bathe too often, especially with hot water or harsh soap, you're not just washing away dirt, you're disrupting this entire system. You strip away sebum, leaving your skin dry and vulnerable. You destroy beneficial bacteria that help maintain skin balance. And for seniors, whose oil production is already in decline, this disruption can be especially damaging. Dermatology studies, including those published in the Journal of Investigative Dermatology, connect excessive bathing with higher rates of dryness, eczema flare-ups, and even allergic reactions. The solution? Bath less. Let your body do its job. Focus on targeted cleaning of high sweat zones like underarms or groin. Use pH-balanced products when necessary. You'll preserve your skin's natural defenses and likely feel better in the process. Building on the idea that your body is already equipped with an incredible self-cleaning mechanism, it becomes clearer why scaling back on full-body bathing isn't about sacrificing hygiene. It's about embracing the biology we've always had working in our favor. When seniors step away from the daily habit of showering, they give their skin and microbiome space to do what they've been finely tuned to do over a lifetime: protect, regulate, and cleanse. The natural oils our body produces aren't just cosmetic. They're a frontline defense, locking in moisture and creating a mildly acidic environment that fends off harmful microbes. When we bathe too often, especially with soap that's too harsh or water that's too hot, we wash away this crucial defense layer, leaving skin exposed and vulnerable. For older adults already contending with decreased oil production and slower skin regeneration, this imbalance can set off a domino effect of irritation, dryness, and increased susceptibility to infection. That's why more experts in geriatrics and dermatology are stepping forward with a message that defies generations of conventional wisdom. Bathing once or twice a week is not only sufficient for most seniors, it's often ideal. This recommendation isn't about cutting corners. It's a thoughtful, evidence-based recalibration aligned with how the aging body works. Skin past 70 isn't just older. It's physiologically different, with less elasticity, reduced moisture retention, and a thinner, more delicate structure. Washing it with the same frequency and methods used in earlier decades is like driving a vintage car through a modern car wash. Something's bound to get damaged. That's why organizations like the American Academy of Dermatology and professionals at institutions like Johns Hopkins are advocating for a gentler, more strategic hygiene approach, one that factors in personal health, mobility, and lifestyle, instead of clinging to outdated routines rooted more in culture than in science. The context here is key. Hygiene should be personal. A senior who's active, spends time outdoors, or sweats more due to medication or weather may need to bathe more frequently than someone who lives a more sedentary lifestyle. Likewise, someone managing incontinence or wound care may require targeted washing, but not a full-body soak. For many, a carefully tailored hygiene plan consisting of 1 or 2 baths a week, supplemented with daily spot cleaning, offers the best of both worlds, comfort and cleanliness without the toll that daily bathing takes. Studies reinforce this wisdom, showing that overbathing among seniors correlates with higher incidences of skin damage, pressure sores, and fatigue. Conversely, a measured approach, think less frequent full-body bathing combined with strategic cleanliness for high-risk areas, supports better skin health and energy preservation. And speaking of energy, this brings us to another truth that too often goes overlooked. Bathing isn't a neutral activity for older adults. It can be physically exhausting, especially when bodies no longer move with the same ease or strength as they once did. The simple act of showering, something younger people do without a second thought, can become a physically taxing, risky ordeal for someone past 70. Studies published by the Journal of the American Medical Association reveal the extent to which daily bathing can deplete already limited energy reserves in seniors. It starts with cardiovascular strain. Standing for just 10 or 15 minutes under a warm stream can cause blood vessels to dilate, lowering blood pressure and making seniors lightheaded or dizzy. Add in the effects of warm, humid air, which can make breathing difficult, especially for those with respiratory conditions like COPD, and the bath becomes less of a self-care ritual and more of an obstacle course. Then there's the toll it takes on the musculoskeletal system. For those managing arthritis, a condition that affects nearly half of adults over 65, every twist, bend, or stretch can feel like a challenge. Reaching to wash a back, bending to clean feet, or balancing to get out of a tub isn't just uncomfortable, it's a potential hazard. Neuropathy, poor circulation, and frailty compound the risk. Even after the shower ends, the job's not done. Toweling off, dressing, and recovering from the exertion can leave seniors so fatigued they need to lie down or forgo other daily activities. It's not uncommon for bath time to derail the day's plans, sapping energy that could otherwise be spent walking, preparing meals, or engaging socially. In this light, the idea of reducing the frequency of full bathing isn't just about skin, it's about preserving autonomy and maximizing daily vitality. For many seniors, bathing once or twice a week with the help of supportive tools, like a shower chair or handheld nozzle, can turn a dreaded obligation into a manageable, even pleasant routine. But perhaps the most revolutionary idea of all, the one that truly flips decades of hygiene messaging on its head, is this. Hygiene isn't defined by bathing, at least not anymore. In today's world, cleanliness is a multifaceted concept, and for seniors, that's a deeply liberating realization. The idea that being clean equals taking a full-body bath every day is a relic of a different time, born more of 20th century soap advertisements than medical necessity. For older adults, especially those facing physical, environmental, or financial limitations, modern hygiene options offer a flexible, dignified alternative. Wet wipes, for example, are more than just a convenience product. They're a game-changing solution for cleaning critical areas like underarms, groin, or feet, where sweat and odor are most likely to accumulate. Designed with gentle formulations and soft textures, they cleanse effectively without the risks associated with water, soap, and slippery floors. Add in regular hand washing, which remains one of the most important ways to prevent illness, and targeted oral care, and you've already addressed many of the most pressing hygiene concerns. Brushing, flossing, and using mouthwash reduce bacterial load, prevent infections, and help maintain a sense of personal freshness. Changing into clean, breathable clothes each day also goes a long way in maintaining hygiene and comfort. Fresh garments wick away moisture, reduce odor, and restore that intangible but powerful feeling of being put together. And let's not overlook grooming. A quick brush of the hair, a touch of deodorant, and the occasional use of dry shampoo can add up to a strong sense of cleanliness and self-respect. When these practices are combined into a thoughtful routine, they create a hygiene system that rivals, if not exceeds, the results of daily full-body bathing. This approach isn't just about convenience, it's about empowerment. It gives seniors the ability to maintain their hygiene on their own terms, adapting to their needs and preferences, rather than adhering to rigid, one-size-fits-all rules. And importantly, it preserves dignity, especially for those who rely on caregivers. Having a flexible hygiene toolkit means seniors don't need to feel dependent or embarrassed about needing help into a shower. A washcloth, a wipe, a clean shirt. These small acts add up to autonomy and confidence, cornerstones of aging well. It's a shift that makes hygiene less of a burden and more of a mindful, personalized act of care. And the research is right behind this evolving mindset. Studies published in geriatric nursing show that seniors who use these hygiene alternatives report feeling just as clean and socially confident as those who bathe every day. Even more telling, they experience fewer skin issues, less fatigue, and greater comfort in their day-to-day lives. This underscores a powerful message. The definition of clean is changing, and for the better. Clean doesn't have to mean soaking wet or thoroughly scrubbed. It can mean fresh clothes, clean hands, and a body that feels good, not irritated or worn out. This more adaptive, respectful approach to hygiene not only keeps seniors healthier, it also fosters a deeper connection between body and mind, routine and ritual, autonomy and well-being. As we reach the final stretch of this eye-opening conversation, it's time to shift from understanding the why behind less frequent bathing to the how. Because what good is all this insight if it doesn't translate into action? Practical, empowering steps that seniors and their caregivers can take starting today. The truth is, creating a safe, effective hygiene routine in later life doesn't require dramatic overhauls or costly equipment. It begins with a change in mindset, a willingness to let go of outdated habits and instead embrace routines that honor the reality of an aging body. At the heart of this transformation is one revolutionary yet deceptively simple concept. You don't need to step into a slippery, steamy bathroom to feel fresh, clean, and confident. In fact, many seniors are finding freedom, comfort, and even joy in ditching daily bathing for smarter, safer alternatives. So what does this look like in everyday life? Start by reimagining hygiene as a modular system rather than a single act. Instead of viewing cleanliness as something that requires a full-body soak, break it down into manageable pieces. Clean hands and face in the morning to start the day feeling refreshed. Use a gentle cloth or wet wipe to target underarms, groin, and feet, areas where sweat and odor tend to accumulate. Swap clothes daily to maintain that crisp, comfortable feeling, and give special attention to oral hygiene, which is not only vital for health, but also one of the fastest ways to feel clean and confident. For many, this routine becomes a refreshing ritual, one that's not only easier on the body, but surprisingly effective. The result is a body that feels cared for without being overexposed to the wear and tear of water, soap, and physical exertion. But what truly elevates this approach is how empowering it can be. Seniors often express frustration and even embarrassment when they can no longer manage a daily bath. They may feel dependent on others, ashamed of perceived uncleanliness, or guilty about needing help. But when hygiene becomes a series of small, self-directed actions, that shame evaporates. Instead of struggling to maintain a standard that no longer fits their life, seniors can build a new one grounded in dignity, realism, and wellness. A simple washcloth becomes a tool of independence. A fresh shirt becomes a badge of control. And in place of exhausting routines, they find something far more valuable: peace of mind. This shift doesn't just preserve health, it restores agency, which for many older adults is the most powerful benefit of all. Of course, there are still ways to support bathing itself, especially when it's needed. The key is to adapt the environment and the process to minimize risk and effort. Installing grab bars near tubs and toilets provides crucial support, helping seniors steady themselves without relying on precarious movements. Non-slip mats and adhesive treads can make a huge difference on slick bathroom floors. A shower chair or bench transforms bathing into a seated, relaxed activity, significantly reducing the risk of falling or fatigue. Handheld shower heads add flexibility and allow for focused washing without needing to turn or twist the body. Some seniors even opt for sponge baths entirely at a sink or bedside, especially if mobility is limited. These aren't compromises. They're customizations, thoughtful tweaks that acknowledge aging as a factor while refusing to let it define dignity. And if we dig a little deeper, we find that this approach, less bathing, more targeted care, isn't just an aging workaround. It's a return to a more natural rhythm. For most of human history, daily bathing wasn't the norm. Our ancestors relied on rivers, cloths, oils, and dry brushing. Even just a century ago, full baths were often a weekly event, reserved for specific days and supplemented with daily grooming. What changed wasn't biology, it was advertising. Soap companies in the early 20th century began promoting the idea of daily freshness, tying it to personal worth, professionalism, and social acceptability. We bought into it, and over time it became law in our minds. But science never backed this cultural shift. Now, with a better understanding of skin biology, microbiomes, and aging, we're simply coming full circle, realizing that our bodies function best not with more intervention, but with more respect for their natural rhythms. That's why experts across disciplines, from dermatologists and geriatricians to occupational therapists, are aligning behind the idea that bathing frequency should be a personalized prescription, not a one-size-fits-all mandate. In the same way a doctor might recommend dietary changes or adjusted exercise routines, hygiene should be customized. A 75-year-old marathon runner in a humid climate may have very different needs than a sedentary 80-year-old in a colder environment. Someone dealing with chronic illness or living with limited mobility will require unique approaches. And that's the point. There's no universal answer. Instead, what matters most is tailoring hygiene habits to reflect an individual's comfort, needs, and physical capacity. This isn't about lowering standards, it's about making them sustainable. Imagine how this might feel for a senior struggling to get through the day. Instead of dreading the bathroom, they begin their morning with a seated face wash at the sink, followed by a warm cloth for the underarms. They brush their teeth, change into fresh clothes, and maybe swipe on a bit of deodorant. It's not elaborate, but it's effective, and it allows them to begin the day energized instead of drained. Twice a week, with the help of a caregiver or a supportive setup, they take a gentle shower using a handheld sprayer and mild pH-balanced soap. It's not rushed. It's not dangerous. It's a routine that nurtures the body without punishing it. And that's the core idea here. Hygiene shouldn't be a battlefield. It should be a form of self-care that leaves you feeling better, not worse. So what's the takeaway? For seniors over 70, clinging to the idea of a daily bath as the ultimate marker of hygiene is not only unnecessary, it can be counterproductive. The mounting evidence from clinical research, real-world observation, and geriatric care is unanimous. Less frequent bathing can lead to better skin health, fewer falls, preserved energy, and a stronger sense of autonomy. It allows the body's natural defenses, the oils, the microbiome, the process of shedding dead skin, to function without interference. It supports seniors in living with more comfort, more safety, and more dignity. And when supported by modern alternatives like wipes, dry shampoos, grab bars, and adaptive tools, this new hygiene approach doesn't just match traditional routines, it often outperforms them in terms of health outcomes and emotional well-being. And let's not forget the ripple effect of these changes. When seniors feel stronger, cleaner, and more in control, their confidence grows. They're more likely to engage with others, participate in daily life, and pursue activities that bring them joy. Their relationships improve, their emotional health stabilizes, and caregivers, too, experience relief, no longer feeling burdened by high-maintenance bath routines, but instead supported by a system that's intuitive, safe, and sustainable. The home becomes a sanctuary again, not a site of stress or risk. For those living alone, it can even mean staying independent longer, avoiding unnecessary transitions to assisted living brought on by preventable injuries like bathroom falls. To bring this full circle, we must understand that the concept of cleanliness, once rigid, unforgiving, and closely tied to outdated cultural norms, can now be reshaped to serve the people who need it most. Cleanliness is no longer about chasing perfection or adhering to old standards. It's about comfort, health, safety, and self-respect. It's about doing what's right for your body, not what's been advertised for decades. And it's about trusting that sometimes doing less is not laziness, it's wisdom. For seniors navigating the many changes that come with aging, that wisdom is a powerful ally. It says, you don't have to fight your body to care for it. You just have to listen. So if you've made it this far, take a moment to reflect. What part of your hygiene routine could be rethought or simplified? Is there an elder in your life who could benefit from a more adaptive approach? Maybe it's time to introduce a loved one to the idea of fewer baths, better tools, and smarter routines. Maybe it's time to start a conversation about dignity, not just cleanliness. Or maybe, just maybe, it's time to take that long-held belief that daily bathing is always best and let it go. In its place, adopt a gentler rhythm. A routine that fits your life, not the other way around. One that protects your skin, your strength, your safety, and your spirit. And now, here's where we pass it to you. What part of this message resonated the most? Was it the science behind how skin changes with age, the real risk of falls in the bathroom, the empowering truth that your body knows how to care for itself, or perhaps the practical toolkit of strategies, from wet wipes to safer bathing equipment, that can revolutionize how seniors stay fresh and healthy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Share your insights. And if there's a senior in your life who needs to hear this, consider sending this their way. If you found this information valuable, please hit the like button. It helps others discover these important ideas. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you'll be notified of our next video. We're committed to delivering thoughtful, science-based guidance to help you live smarter, healthier, and with greater peace of mind. Thank you for being with us through this journey. The conversation doesn't stop here. We've got more to explore, more myths to bust, and more tools to share for aging well. But for now, remember this: when it comes to staying clean, staying safe, and staying well in your later years, the smartest move you can make might just be stepping away from the tub. Less water, less risk, more life. It's a truth worth soaking in. The bottom line? For seniors over 70, the daily bath may be doing more harm than good. It's a ritual many of us hold dear, wrapped up in ideas of self-worth, discipline, and modern grooming. But the truth is, your skin, your energy, and your safety may benefit far more from doing less. The evidence has been mounting, and it's hard to ignore. The senior body, with its thinner, drier, and more delicate skin, wasn't designed for the daily soap and water assault we've all been taught to consider normal. The very act of daily washing may be setting up older adults for dry, cracked, vulnerable skin. It may be draining their energy, adding to their risk of falls, and undermining their ability to age independently and comfortably. And yet, there's hope in the simplicity of the solution. By bathing once or twice a week, using alternative hygiene tools, and tailoring routines to real individual needs, seniors can take back control. They can experience skin that feels less irritated and more hydrated. They can reduce the physical strain of bathing, avoid slips and falls, and conserve energy for what truly matters, engaging with family, enjoying hobbies, or simply having the strength to enjoy a peaceful afternoon. It's not a retreat from cleanliness. It's a redefinition of it. And perhaps even more profoundly, it's a reminder that sometimes less really is more.